Hey everybody, welcome to Average Guy Opinions. I'm your average guy, John Corelli, and you remember this song? So, this episode is about my obsession with cheerleaders. It's not healthy. And hopefully, let me know if the music is too loud over these videos, but I'm going to try to include more music and try to just have more fun with these videos. But yeah, I was watching the Country Music Channel, which is where I discovered Redneck Island last week, and they had a show where they were showing the rigors of, it was like a reality show of Dallas Cowboy cheerleader tryouts. It's pretty brutal, and I know that they're underpaid, and I didn't do any research, but I know those women don't make a lot of money. They never have. And it just made me think about cheerleaders throughout my life, including this wonderful video, which is iconic for a cheerleader video and a song, Tony Basil's Oh Mickey, You're So Fine. So, yeah, how did we get here? Like I said, this triggered it watching the show. I watched it for about 5 minutes. You know, there were hot women on the TV, so I watched them for a few minutes. I was just scrolling and said, okay, all right, that's what the show is. I don't need to watch another reality show for more than 5 minutes. I have very few years left. Why waste them? But it did get me thinking about why do I like cheerleaders so much? Is it the school spirit? Is it the choreography? No, it's hot women in short skirts. That's what it is. I'm a simple man, and that's all it is. So I thought about a lot of my past cheerleading experiences. One was pretty perverse. I've mentioned my friend Mike Macbeth in the past, and I'm going to turn this down because I don't know if it's going to be, but I love this. I love you, Tony Basil. I never stop loving you. But but I had that friend Mike Macbeth who was the half black skinhead, and he was, like I said, I've mentioned before, he was in gifted and talented class. He had a super high IQ, but he was nuts. Maybe that's why I gravitated towards him, because he was a lot of fun to hang out with. But he did some twisted stuff. Like one time, we'd have pep rallies. I believe it was every Friday we had pep rallies at Wheat Ridge Junior High, and of course the cheerleaders had their short skirts, and Mike Macbeth tied a little like hand mirror into the laces of his shoe. I don't know if this has been done before, probably, but he's the first one I knew about doing it. And he would just walk up next to the cheerleaders like, "Hey, John, come here." He's like, "Look at my shoe." Just looking right up her skirt. Of course, all the girls had flash pants, but still, it was a pretty nice angle to see a girl's hindquarters back in 8th, 9th grade. So where did we go from there? There were a couple girls that I was really obsessed with, and I wouldn't say obsessed. I mean, I wasn't a stalker or anything. Well, yeah, maybe I kind of was. There was one at Jefferson that I went to her house and brought her flowers, and that was kind of a disaster. I'm not going to say who it is because I'm too embarrassed to even that I'm mentioning it. Mentioning it here is already embarrassing. So let's not go. But I did want to mention this. I was kind of a cheerleader myself at Jefferson for only one quarter. Now, I think we had quarters, if I remember right. A quarter was a half a semester, but you could get credit. I believe there were quarter classes that lasted a couple months, and you could get credits for that. I don't remember how the system worked. It was the 80s. But one time I did try out for mascot, which was, it was called St. Jeff. And basically all you had to do was wear a red shirt and blacken your eye and go to the games. And I did that, I think it was during basketball and like volleyball season, if I remember right, which was winter. And I tried out for it, and of course I was not a very popular kid, and the judges were Mr. Brookie, who I never liked, and I don't think he liked me, and then it was two other very popular kids, and so they're asking me all these questions like, "Are you a virgin?" I was going, "What does that have to do with me trying out for mascot? Are you a virgin?" "Yeah, you happy now? You got a virgin trying out for mascot." Fucking assholes. So, but I had this like out of body experience where I just brought it. I was like, I couldn't do anything special. Not physically, but I just got right in there. He said, SAINTS, and went all crazy. And then Jim Cork, who had the same great initials as me, and was on the wrestling team, and pretty much a jock, and he played football. I believe, in fact, I know he played football, and then he won. They awarded us the two positions of mascot, and I would go out there, and not, like I said, I wasn't a popular kid. I would just try to get some of my friends together and try to get cheers started in the stands and kind of goof around with the cheerleaders, like at small intermissions during the games. And then one time, Jim Cork's just sitting there in the stands. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be helping me with this. He's like, hey, man, I just got out of wrestling practice. Let's see you do blah, blah, blah during wrestling practice and then go and then do this. I go, hey, mascot is not very hard. It's not a physically demanding thing. It's like, and if you couldn't do the job, why did you apply for the job? And he's like, oh, I'm not doing it. And I was like, all right, fine, man. Just sit here with all your jock friends and go like this and don't do shit. That's fine, whatever. So that was my experience with that, and I quit after one semester. And to be fair to Jim Cork, I didn't really do that great at it either. For some reason, like I said, I had that out-of-body experience at tryouts, and then after that, I was just kind of like, yeah, like I mostly sat with my friends too, and sometimes I'd run around and try to get people amped up, but that was about it. But I saw that there's definitely 10 minutes of material on cheerleaders, I think. And not my obsession's all gone. I see the girls at school, and obviously they're 1/3 my age, and I see the skirts, but it doesn't do anything for me. Thank God that I'm not that much of a pervert. But it is just a cool phenomenon, and it's changed a lot. Like when I was in school, it was mostly popular, beautiful women or young women being the cheerleaders. Now, at least last time I saw, they allow special needs kids to get in there and help with the cheers. It's not all about the looks anymore; it's about the effort, and I think that's really great, and that's a step in the right direction. Another thing this reminded me of is, I don't know if any of you remember this. The Denver Broncos cheerleaders are called the excuse me, are called the Pony Express. And back when I'm done with the music. Sorry, I can't multitask anymore. I'm too old. So I hope you enjoyed Mickey by Tony Basil. And then Thomas Dolby came on, which is a nice 80s song, but has nothing to do with cheerleading. Anyway, back to the Pony Express. So when I was a kid, the Pony Express, and still they're called the Pony Express again, they're cheerleaders for the Denver Broncos. And around 1980, 79, right after they went to their first Super Bowl, big old scandal happened. I guess some of them posed for Playboy, and they were almost looked upon like as witches or women that deserve some sort of scarlet letter, and they gave the Denver Broncos the death penalty for cheerleaders, and you just don't get them anymore. And we're like, what? Because a few women, in your estimation, made a bad choice. Pay them more. Maybe they wouldn't have to pose for Playboy to make ends meet. Anyway. So they gave him the death penalty, and I remember watching games in the 80s when John Elway was starting his career in 1983. They brought high school cheerleaders in for a while. They had no cheerleaders, and then in the 90s, towards the end of Elway's career, they got the Pony Express back. And I just thought that was kind of a funny, weird thing to happen in a country where we not only encourage people to go out and make money any way we can. We almost force it, but just by the way our system works. And so for a few women to pose nude in a magazine that men buy and specifically buy that for, I found it very odd that they were being punished. And we were being punished. Us poor guys who didn't get to see our half-naked women at the football games anymore. Yeah, so I'll leave you with this next song because I think this is also a great. I just want to cheer to it. This is the Bay City Rollers Saturday Night, and I always laughed at this because when I was a kid, I remember another JC. This is weird. I'm running into a lot of JCs from my past. Kid I went to elementary school with, his name was Jim Clark, and he's always like the Gay City Rollers, and we thought it was the most clever thing. In fourth grade, you think that's pretty hilarious. So the Gay City Rollers with Saturday Night, but. Yeah, so that's my take on cheerleading, and my obsession with them for a while. And I think that's everything. I think that what they do is pretty awesome. A lot of them, hey, George Bush, our 43rd president, was a male cheerleader at Yale. So look for some pictures of that online because it's quite entertaining. All right, thanks you guys. I'm up to my 10 minutes. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.